Hi, how are you? We want to go ahead and proceed? Just let
I
Lisa
guess
join.
we'll go ahead. She can,
Waiting.
all right. Call to order at 6:08 PM.
Give me just one sec. Okay, please proceed, sorry.
Okay. Call to order at 6:08 PM. Audience participation. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the board on any item listed on the agenda, please fill out one of the audience participation forms located by the east door of the council room. After the form is completed, please hand it to the board secretary. Your request to speak will be given to the chairman, and you will be called upon to speak when that item is discussed. Second item of business is the approval of the minutes from March 23rd, 2026. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I second. If you're supposed to second them.
Yes. Yes.
Good job.
I'll vote.
We have to vote.
Let me know if you're unable to cast your vote on the screen.
I think,
It's not up yet.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
There.
I can also just log it on my end.
okay. Lisa's is still up. Okay.
So I'll make sure to exclude those members that are not right now here.
Okay. All right. Our next item of business is consideration and action regarding updated board member placement.
Yes, Vice Chairman, so member number 5, or place number 5, Emily Stoltz, has resigned. So that leaves one position that's not an alternate position open for the board. Per just procedures of the board, it is recommended that the first alternate be appointed to fill in the vacancy, since regardless of whether or not it gets filled, alternate number 1, Miranda, is going to continue to act as place number 5 in the meetings to follow to cover for those members that are absent or have resigned. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. If not, the floor is open for a motion.
I say we make her a member. Would anybody like to make that motion? If she's willing. All right.
All right, I make a motion to make her random place number 5.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
Easy.
Everybody gets to vote. Okay. Then our next item up is discussion and action regarding the Yard of the Month nominations for the month of April.
Sam, give me 1 second while I pull those up really quick.
She'll pull them up on the
The
screen.
pictures, they'll put the pictures up.
Yeah. Ooh. There we go. We have 2 in section 2 and 2 in section 3. That explains why I recognized both of those houses.
Okay, perfect. So we received a total of 4 nominations for the month of April. First one being in Yard 1, Quadrant 1. Next are those pictures. They submitted a few from different views. That first one. Second and third picture. And that fourth one. Yard number 2, Quadrant 3. Here is the picture submitted for that nomination. Yard 3, quadrant 3. And lastly, yard 4, quadrant 2. So that's the end for all of our submissions. Let me know if you want me to go back to a specific one. For a new member, just FYI, since we're not within a holiday season or themed contest, the judging criteria should include consistent maintenance, landscape design, use of maybe seasonal plants, and just overall impression of the yard. And a total of 2 yards can be awarded for this month, with each receiving the gift card award, recognition certificate, and a sign to be placed at their yard.
All right, we got to narrow it down from 4 pretty yards to 2.
What's everyone's favorite? I like number 1 also, because of the
Where-
backyard pictures.
But that's in the backyard, right?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, but
still
the
their
front yard's
yard.
pretty too. Yes, they do.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I like it, where can I see it?
Yeah.
And just,
It's like, I want to see that part.
just for the record, we did reach out to the applicant and asked for clarification on whether or not that was on their front yard or backyard. They confirmed it was on their front yard. I unfortunately cannot go on site and just kind of hold people accountable. So the best thing that we can hope for is that people are transparent in their submission. So
So what does she do?
just FYI on that.
So I still have trouble hearing, and my hearing aids don't really work.
Oh, no, you're good. I just said that the applicant that submitted those pictures, I reached out to him and asked him to confirm whether all the pictures submitted were from his front yard. He said they were. I unfortunately cannot,
There.
go to everyone's property, so we're kind of just dependent on people being transparent
Got it.
and fair.
I don't think that's
I'm
true,
pretty sure they're
but
from the
'cause
backyard, because they're the
the
interior of
poles
the
are on the
fence.
inside, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's in-
the front yard's still very pretty too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, those are not front
What
yard
does everybody else think? Okay, besides,
I really liked,
what do you like, Miranda?
that was my choices, 1 and 4. I just like the garden and the tree and, yeah.
Pamela?
I like 3, but that's because I took the picture. It's somebody in my neighborhood.
Oh,
I don't know them, but I like the house because they built all that stuff. And it's simple, tidy, and it's,
sometimes less is more.
they planted the tree, they have a fountain, the brickwork is nice. It's just tidy.
So we all agree on 1,
Well, I'm not so sure because it's just,
no?
no, because it's like that, I don't know. It's just. Yeah, but so is 3. Anyway, I'll go with what everybody.
I like
Yeah.
1 and 4. I'm just 1 vote.
They're both different styles of what people want to hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can go with 1 and 4 as well.
This is just someone who's got a little bit more whimsy than the
Anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to award yards 1 and 4 for yard of the month.
Do we have to vote?
Yeah.
Miranda, if you could go ahead and cast your vote.
Okay, are the birds in here or just outside?
Or I guess just outside the
Really?
window.
What?
They could be in here.
I know, I was like, are they in the pipes or what, you know? Okay, sorry. I digress. All right, our next item is the discussion regarding fee adjustment for the Veterans Memorial bricks.
So, just again for context, we recently had an update for the board regarding just switching over responsibilities between parks and recreation and Keep Saginaw Beautiful for things that felt more aligning to each board. The memorial one being initially intended from staff's point of view to be more aligned with the beautification efforts of the city. This item was intended initially to do a fee adjustment to just account for the brick installation time that the public services employees put in to put all these bricks in. We charge when they're on sale $25, and we only pay $20 for engraving, but we did want to account for that extra processing time from staff. However, within the last week since the posting of the agenda, through further discussion with our Public Works Director, Brendan Newsom, it was brought up that we're running out of space behind City Hall for new brick installations, which could target or trigger the need for expanding that memorial portion where bricks can be installed. And that could be very costly. Through that discussion, we were going just kind of back and forth to determining what board would be responsible. And of course, because Kiwanis Park is a park, that will fall under the jurisdiction of Parks Board to be paid for with those funds and the funds obtained from the bond election if it is passed. Given all of that into account, staff has advised me and the board to have this program instead now be overseen by Parks and Recreation because of all of those future or anticipated expenses that will come along with the expansion, but also to allow staff, in this case myself, and our funds more time and just resources to be allocated instead for all of the environmental protection kind of aspect of Keep Saginaw Beautiful. That could entail organization of cleanup events, adopt a spot cleanup events, and those things that would lead us on the long term to be able to join the Keep Texas Beautiful Association. While looking through their application, we would have to have a little bit more focus in our programs for just community cleanups. If it's not something as big as the big event, just generally showcasing that the board has put some effort into that aspect of beautification. So it was just something that is being corrected on our end to, again, alleviate resources for KSB to focus on things that align more with the mission. But at this point, I'm open to questions. Again, I do apologize for the back and forth. I wish we didn't have to have this back and forth, but it's one of those things where we're taking those steps to correct and make sure that things are aligning. So moving forward, of course, the fees for future purchases would be taken out of Parks Board, and the funds that are received from the payments of those bricks will be given to Parks Board because we're no longer going to be overseeing this.
So it's going to be totally removed from our budget and from discussion
Right.
here.
Yes, the reason the switch to KSB had been initially done, if you guys recall, was because it was found through accounting that we were the ones receiving the payments for the bricks and Parks Board was the board paying for the engraving of the bricks.
Yep.
So this was all just to
Yep.
fix up things that were missed in the past. But I'm open to questions if there's any. Okay.
No?
Do we have to vote on that?
No, it's a report, yes. And
Oh, sorry.
What was the price gonna go to, just out of curiosity?
so the price that I was going to propose was increasing it to $100 in comparison to other cities that have this program. we would be still relatively low in the market because most cities charge upwards of $300 per brick.
Wow.
And that would just be to allocate for the installation time, just taking into account hourly rates for our employees that have to go out there and pull out bricks, rearrange them, put them back in, and the time to drop off the bricks and then pick them up after when they're done. So it was just trying to get a little bit of our money back that we're losing through the administrative portion, not the donation fund portion. So just FYI on that, we did have, from the time that the board oversaw the program, and I did an online revamping, re-advertisement, and just kind of changing of the structure, we did have a lot of sales, which were a total of 25. Those we already received the funds for. They're gonna showcase as unallocated funds. So they're not gonna appear in our budget, but they're part of the total funds that are not allocated for an expense. They're just available to the board. And the expenses of the bricks were a total of $480 for engraving. Those should be reflected in this month's expenses. So next month, that would probably be showing up. But just FYI, we paid 20 and we got 25 per brick. So we got that $5 revenue per.
Okay,
Right.
sounds good.
Excellent. All right, next item, discussion regarding vendor quotes for banner installation at Knowles Drive.
Go ahead and pull that slide up. Give me one sec. Okay, let me know if that shows up on your end too. Does it not?
Okay.
Just to
If you
proceed this discussion. Okay. We currently have a total of $3,228.57 that has not been spent out of the supplies line item for our budget. We are starting the Yar of the Month contest again, and as you guys know, we have allocated $60 a month for the award gift cards that we give people who are selected as winners. So that would be April through September. The anticipated expenses are $750. That is if we actually use it all. That's just for $60 per gift card, 2 gift cards a month from April through September. Taking that out of the budget and then an estimated $200 for maybe potential new signs for Adopt a Spot or Yar of the Month replacement signs, if those do pop up through the rest of the year, we're looking at a total of $2,278 left in our supplies line item. Again, we have funds in the unallocated portion, but just wanted to give you an FYI of what we have left over in the supplies budget before we proceed with looking at the quotes. Last time, we talked about restarting the banner program for Knowles Drive. The reason for that is because the locations that we used to use for installation are no longer permitted through Encore. They don't allow us to install banners in any poles that have 2 luminaires or 2 light fixtures. For context, we did try to escalate it to the area manager of Encore to see if there would be a possibility for an exception or alternative permitting process to continue to use the poles in the medians that surround the city, and unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do on our end. The only alternative that we would have for Longhorn, Old Decatur, Bailey Boswell, and Blue Mound is to install banners in the wooden poles that have power lines going through them. For that, Encore representatives would have to come and one by one help us mark them because they don't have a map that showcases which ones pertains to them and which of those poles pertain to communication carriers like Spectrum and things like that. So just an FYI on that, because they're wooden poles, we would also have to install the banners lower and of different sizes, which would trigger the board having to do a whole mass like reordering of banners and brackets, since it will no longer be the same poles that we were using in the past, the light poles. Having all that into consideration, last month the board was presented with the alternative of focusing for the year being and maybe next fiscal year on Knowles Drive that has been recently reopened after road reconstruction, and it runs along our biggest park in the city. So we looked at the layout of new street lights that have been installed. They only have one light fixture, so we can use it. We can use all of those poles per Encore guidelines. And I was instructed to get 2 layout options, or quotes for 2 layout options. One, to have the banners just kind of installed in every other pole with having only one pole in between. And the other having more space in between each banner with like 2 poles in between that are empty. All throughout the stretch of Longhorn, all the way to like north of the park. And then later on, next fiscal year, the board could decide if they actually wanted to expand the banners throughout the rest of Knowles, because Knowles does make it all the way to Bailey Boswell. For now, we just wanted to focus along Willow Creek Park. The other decision that was made last month was to have a 1-year round design, just city logo, so that we don't have to pay constantly for switching them out and for getting new designs. And we have 11 banners on stock. Those are still, some of them are still installed throughout the city. On those light poles, we left them up at the hope that we would be able to get an exception or an alternative permitting through Encore. That was not the case, unfortunately, so we'll have to uninstall them for them to be used by our new provider if a vendor is selected. So we got quotes from 4 vendors. The first one, Speed Pro. The total cost for installation, printing of the banners, and the brackets would be $6,074. That's if we space them out a little bit more. If we install 21 banners with having less space, empty space in between them, the total will be $7,699. These costs, we did tell them that we had 11 brackets in stock, so they did take that into account, every single vendor. So just FYI, our public services crew is gonna have to try to remove the ones that are currently in poles. The vendors will have to assess how usable those are, but if they have been deteriorated by weather or the sun, just again, general components of the environment, then they might not be reusable. So I just want to be fully transparent on that. The second vendor that we obtained displays from, or quotes from, is Display Sales. We've used this vendor in the past only for banner printing because we used to have a different company install the banners, but that was not as cost efficient, and the company that we used in the past was not the most reliant when it came to sticking to the dates provided for installation. So Display Sales, 17 banners, you're looking at $5,728 with 60 cents. 21 banners, $7,352 with 80 cents. With brackets and banners be the same cost, the only thing that changes is the cost for installation and shipping. Next is Lone Star banners and flags. Just FYI, all of these are local except Display Sales. Display Sales has shipping because they are not Texas-based. So Lone Star banners and flags, 17 banner layout would be $4,470. 21 banner layout would be $5,910. Again, brackets and banners, the cost doesn't change. The only thing that would change is how many banners we actually end up having installed throughout that road. Lastly is Fast Signs with the lowest proposal in terms of cost. 17 banners would cost us $4,368, and 21 banners, $5,770. Again, installation being the only one that changes. Out of these vendors, Display Sales is the only one that has like a warranty system of 2 years for banners, but we would have to submit a request. Their staff will have to review the reason why we're submitting a replacement request for those banners, which, you know, it's not a guarantee that they will swap them out. All of the other vendors were, able to tell us that they don't have a long-term warranty system for their banners because they easily get damaged by the weather, they can get flown out by the wind, so it just gets really tricky as to determining when to swap them out for the client or when you start losing money. They would only be able to offer warranty if they misprinted them or damaged the design that we chose. Well, it's not included. They don't do banner printing. They only did the installation.
That's the company we used the last time that didn't show up all the time.
Yeah, we had a lot of
Reliable.
just changes in, say, like we had an order last time March. If we wanted to remove the old ones, it did take them like from late January or early February all the way to like April. They still hadn't been removed, to the point that Public Services crews just stepped in to do the board the favor. No, they're not any of these. But we haven't had experience with any of these in terms of installation processes. All of these vendors did let us know a date is provided for installation, but if weather changes, then they really can't do anything. Fortunately, though, we're working on one road. It's not like it's going to be across the city, so it should be a little bit quicker in terms of shutting down the lanes for them to have their lift up for installing those out.
Did we not have any budget? I can't remember. Did we have anything in the budget for the banners this year?
We don't have a specific line item for it. Our budget is broken down into 3 things: supplies, and then contract services, which is the Christmas decoration stuff and mowing, and then the capital outlay, which is murals and the $5,000 for tree planting. We do have unallocated funds. I just want to remind the board that we've right now consider multiple things to use those unallocated funds for. The upcoming discussion regarding the holiday display sales with Parks Board, which will be discussed next week, the overpass mural that we're currently getting quotes for, but if we do, all pillars can get pretty high, and then these banners. Again, once we do the installation of the brackets, the swapping out process won't be as expensive because it could likely be done in-house by our crews. And since we're only doing one design and we're not swapping it out seasonally, this would only really be like a one-time expense, and we would be looking at maybe replacing a few within a year's time, depending on weather.
I personally am invested in this because we've already invested a lot of money and time in it, but I also kind of want to, my thought is defer it until after we have our joint meeting next week and see what we end up doing with the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, we don't want to keyhole money to that, and then the next week there's a meeting, and then, wait, we want that money for this instead.
Oh, I see. I really wanted the banners because we have put a lot into it and worked on it, but I think at this point, another month isn't going to make a difference.
And then just FYI, pulling it up for reference, this is what I mean with like layout of the 21 banners. Like, we counted them, it's 21 if we wanted to have only one pole in between each, and then have 4 around the roundabout.
If we do go forward, what number were you guys thinking of? The 21 versus 17, a significant cost increase.
This is how,
Being a vendor, but just kind of throwing it out there, what number? would
This is
you
how they would look.
recommend?
I mean, I really think the 17, as close as they are together, having one every third pole is I mean, if they're gonna be the same banner, you know, a lot of places have like every other one is
It's
different, you know, but if,
I just
you
think,
know, at
for-
least for like the first round.
I think for only 4 more banners, it's a significant cost increase.
Yeah, it's like $1,500 for 4 more.
But we can further,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I also think, considering what the street looks like now with all the plantings, it's really attractive. So it's like, do banners really add to the attractiveness of it? I don't know. I mean,
point.
it's something to think about, because the landscaping right now is just, it's really beautiful, what they've done along the road.
I haven't been all the way down it since
Oh, it's
they
gorgeous.
finished, but, I mean,
In
I,
my opinion, they've done a really wonderful job of they've got plantings now on both sides, and there are a variety of trees, and,
They did a nice job by the park when now that all the construction's.
yeah, they did.
may take the
So,
dog out
anyway,
this weekend.
I would agree with you, I like to put it off.
I
And
did want to note too, none of these vendors did a site visit. If we move forward with this, tell a vendor that we're interested in moving forward with an estimate, they would still need to do a drive-through. The layout might change a little bit depending on whether they recommend placement in certain areas just based on tree placement. But there's not a lot of big trees around the new ones. It's really in certain areas as you get north of Knowles that the trees are pretty big and it could obstruct the banner. So just FYI, these are estimates to give you guys an idea of the impact money-wise that we're looking at.
well, would anybody like to make a motion to defer this? Do we defer it for a month? Or,
We don't need a motion, but we'll note it in the minutes if you guys
Okay.
want to wait until next month
Good to me.
for allocation.
I think everybody agrees?
Yeah.
and we should all drive down and see what we think.
Is there a vendor out of the 4 options? Do we want to just go with the cheapest option?
Well, I don't know. I've used fast signs before. Is this the fast signs that just up here on 820?
It would be one in 820 closer to
Yeah. close to
downtown Fort
Lake
Worth, yeah.
Yeah. I've used them before for other things, and they've been very helpful. So, I
I
mean,
would just prefer to use someone local, so if it's an.
yeah, so display sales is the only one that's not
Yeah.
local. But, I mean, even though, I mean, they are the least expensive, and I have had experience with them, so that's
Those
just,
fast signs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very little difference between them and Lone Star.
I mean,
But
if we move forward, maybe we get them both to do a more,
There could be issues when they come out to do the site inspection that they don't know about with the quote, that could raise or lower the quote too.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha, but, right, so generally leaning towards just being conservative with spending and going with the cheaper quote.
Yes.
Okay.
And using 17, I think,
Yeah.
instead of the 21. yeah.
Okay. Right.
All right. The next item is a discussion regarding rescheduling the regular called meeting for May 25th, 2026.
Yes, so next Monday that we would be meeting, May 25th, it is Memorial Day, so all facilities will be closed. And I'm sure maybe you guys will have holidays at work and will probably want to be out of town. The possible dates that we can reschedule would be Wednesday, May 27th, or May 20th. If we do May 27th, it will allow more time for entries for the Year of the Month contest, like the processing of the entries, I guess. It won't be as rushed of an agenda. So staff recommends really May 27th, but I want to get y'all's feedback, see what date you would be available.
Well-
Tuesdays are off the table, for sure.
I am not available the 20th.
The 27th?
27th works for me.
27th it is?
Okay. Perfect. We're ready for the next item when you guys
All
are.
right, next item, the Adopt a Spot report.
Okay, just very quickly, we had both Opal Bryan Park reopened. The renovations are completed. Only Opal's spot has been adopted at the Recreation Center. We do have an advertisement sign, and one of our board members, Pamela Macy, has been maintaining it in the meanwhile. So we did a re-advertisement on our social media page recently. Upcoming posts will be just a recognition of recent adoptees. For Opal, the marquee sign, which is spot number 3 in your attachment on the map, if it's visible. Let me know if you want me to pull it up. And that for the community center up in Western Center. So we'll be doing a social media post just kind of recognizing those adoptees' efforts. They've done a great job. If you get the time to swing by, when you're driving by Saginaw Boulevard, the marquee sign. Of course, you probably didn't see that before, but the weeds were pretty bad, really tall. And then at Opal, the new adoptee did plant some flowers and did a great job at just maintaining it. So just keep an eye out for that post if you guys want to reshare it. Again, we're currently just working with these spots. William Houston Park, if the bond election passes for Park Sport, it is my knowledge that William Houston is part of the master plan and renovation, so we're hoping that will incentivize adoption at that spot. And the planter box does need some maintenance that staff has not been able to work on, but just an FYI on the current status of the program. We do receive some extra applications here and there. Unfortunately, people are like wanting to apply to adopt a whole park or private property. Sometimes they're under the impression that it's like city property. They ask me about certain areas and they're like HOA maintained already, or it's just not safe for us to have people adopting roads, especially with the traffic that we have in the city. So just FYI on that, it's one of the things that one of the challenges we're currently facing, just the limited areas that we have for spots available for people to adopt. If you guys don't have any questions, we're ready to move forward to the next item. This was just an update.
Staff report on overpass and Willow Creek Park restroom mural projects.
Okay, just very quickly, last time that we were here, we discussed the design and general plan for the overpass mural. I gave general estimates that I received from artists regarding just painting the 2 closest to Saginaw Boulevard. After a discussion with those artists, they do advise covering all pillars for the purposes of connectivity throughout them, but they do offer facing and just different payment plans if the board wanted to take them little by little. On May 19th, the upcoming city council meeting, I will be presenting this project to see if they will be supportive of the unallocated funds for this board to be used for a project of that size. Again, for the people that were not able to attend last meeting, the reason that we're wanting to bring forward a presentation to City Council first is because of the high costs associated with a mural project at the overpass. We would have to use unallocated funds, and it's one of those murals where it can easily have a lot of public opposition because of where it is and how big it could be. So we want to make sure to have first council be aware of the project, get their feedback, support before we proceed with actually spending any money, whether on renderings or selecting any artists. So far, 5 artists have come to our office and we provided tours of the overpass for them to prepare more accurate quotes of what it will cost to do maybe just the 2 in the middle and what it will cost to do the full array of the pillars, depending on complexity of design, so that we can have those ranges available for the May 19th meeting. So again, a total of 5 artists have expressed interest and are working on sending us those quotes. Once council reviews this project and lets us know if they would be supportive of it and provides their feedback on design and just like approach, I will come back with a report to the board. Just let you know what their feedback was and show the quotes that we received from those artists. For the restroom one, that's a smaller one. It doesn't need to go through council approval because we already have allocated funds in our operating budget for smaller murals. So I'm still waiting on quotes from all of those 5 artists. And hopefully on our May 27th meeting, I will be able to show the board the quotes received and have you guys select an artist so that we can get going with that mural.
Thank you.
Okay?
Great.
All right. Next item is the expenditure fund report.
Right. Just lastly, the total donations received for March were $17,353.21. We did have to spend $16 on the advertisement sign at the recreation center. This was bought earlier in the year. It was a credit card transaction, and they do take a little bit of showcase in our reports just through the accounting process. The brick engraving for one brick that was sold prior to the sale that we had on February, that was $20. Again, we received $25 for it. Upcoming expenses would be $480 for the engraving of 24 bricks that we received the funds for. The traffic control box wrapping for Knowles and the one located at Knowles and Longhorn that was approved last month. So that was a total of $750, and the expense will be upcoming. And lastly, we had a recent adoption for the Opal Joe Jennings spot. It was $35 for their sign. So those are the upcoming expenses within the next month. Any questions from the board?
No, thank you.
Okay. Last item, future agenda items. Before the board proceeds, just wanted to give you an update on what the vendor sent us for that traffic control box.
So I have a question about, did you,
Yes, ma'am?
so did you want to,
Yes.
oh, that's pretty,
Yes, so just wanted to verify it has been installed already. We're just waiting for the payment to be withdrawn from our account.
Yay. Oh, that turned out so nice.
wow, that was quick.
So future agenda items, I know that we have a lot of kind of starting off projects, big ones that we want to focus on. But if the board has a desire to expand the traffic control box wrapping program, there has been a few new ones throughout Bailey Boswell, and I haven't gotten a chance to drive all across the city, but I think it would be a great opportunity, if not this fiscal year, within the next fiscal year, to use a portion of the $30,000 that we have for, $25,000 that we have for art improvements to add new traffic control boxes to our collection. So just an update and suggestion on that.
I have seen those around. They're nice.
All right.
So I have a question about future agenda items and our budget. So, I'm still wrestling with who controls really that budget. And I know we've talked about the mowing along Blue Mound. And, I obviously have I teach GED at the library, so I'm there a lot, and I love the new library, but there is no groundskeeping budget. And if I were to say what my priority is, it's not going to be mowing the edge of Blue Mound. It's going to be maintaining the gardens and the plantings there. And I don't know how to get that focused I know you've said that I should come to a different meeting, but if we've got $2,500 going to mowing on Blue Mound, can we redirect that to maintenance around the library? it hasn't been mowed this year. And I started doing the weeding last fall because no one was doing it, and I had every expectation that somebody would step in. And I am not doing the senior center side, but I've done all the gardens on the library side. And I can continue doing that, but, you know, somebody has to be looking after the fact that at least in some areas, 20 to 40 plants have died. The 3 magnolias in the containers right in the front of the library are dead, and it's just going to continually fall apart like the area around the fire station. And if we're going to invest $40,000 up front, which is what somebody told me, and I don't know if that's true, if we're going to invest in landscaping, that really is very attractive, and then just let it fall apart, it's like, why bother? I mean, within a month, all of those gardens will be covered with weeds because it's weed growing time in Texas. So I don't know if we can reorient our budget or who controls it or what we do, but I would seriously try to look at the landscaping projects that the town has invested in and how to maintain them. I mean, and what the priorities are, because that's what I think about. What's the priorities in terms of mowing Blue Mound or maintaining an investment around our buildings? And, you know, and I'm just snarkily on the side going to say, given that the developer who owns that corner lot doesn't maintain it for anything, what's the point of mowing a little bit when the rest of it is just awful? So that's my snarky aside, but it really is for me setting priorities around how to keep the landscaping beautiful that we have, and do we have a part to play in it? And I don't know.
So for the mowing, it has started late this year because it was out for bid for the renewal of a contract. I'm not the one that oversees the mowing services. That is our operations manager, Paul Rosinski at Public Works.
Right.
So they had it out for bid, and a vendor was just recently selected. If it wasn't in this past city council meeting, it was in the one prior, and they're set to start mowing throughout the city on the end of this month or the first week of May, to my understanding, because we have received a lot of reports from residents regarding just generally mowing in the right-of-ways of the city.
Yep.
Regarding the library, it is under maintenance bond, so the contractor is responsible for maintaining that landscape. When you first brought up that inquiry, I did bring it up to our assistant city manager. It's my understanding that as of right now, there are no available funds to allocate for more specialized landscaping where they pull out weeds and take care of specific plants. We only have sufficient funds to reasonably allocate for mowing after that maintenance period's over from the contractor that built out the library. I would have to get a more accurate report on that because I'm not the one overseeing those things. I will say next month we'll have a workshop budget. Again, the mowing of Blue Mound Saginaw Boulevard was started by
Yeah, I know why.
2008, 2006 liaison and board at the time, with the intentions of maintaining something that was out of the city's jurisdiction, but people attributed to the city. People drive throughout Saginaw Boulevard here in Blue Mound, unaware that those roads are not maintained by us, right? They assume it's maintained by the city, and it was just having a bad look on us. Whenever we first had this item for discussion, I did receive messages from residents just kind of inquiring about what gets paid by what, and we're very adamant that they wanted tax revenue funds to be used for city maintenance when it comes to landscaping and not donation funds.
Right.
So I would have to talk to that operations manager and just kind of see what the plans are. But that's something to keep in mind. If we don't do the mowing for Blue Mountain Road and just kind of leave it up to TxDOT, same for Saginaw Boulevard, we'll have to propose using the funds instead for maintenance of city facilities. And that could possibly be, I don't want to say opposition, but more so a concern that residents can bring up, that they're paying taxes and they're also voluntarily donating to beautification. They might not be in agreement with voluntary donations being used for maintenance of facilities because people are under the understanding that we already use tax revenue in our budget for landscaping in there. But I can,
But that's a catch-22 because, you know, because it's a loss of money if the landscaping is not maintained somehow, it depreciates and it looks like it's awful. I mean, you look around the fire station and you look at ornamental grass is lovely, but you have to maintain it, and it looks like haystacks around the fire station right now. I mean, it just slowly falls apart. It's kind of like putting the banners up and letting them get frayed and look ugly. You know, it's just like, you can't have real pride of place if you, or rip it all up and just put down mulch. But it doesn't work the way it's doing now. And so I think for me, it's a discussion because, you know, you can look at the senior center side versus the library side, and it's different. And so it's just going to be awful this summer if.
Is there something anyone can do now to help? Do you have any suggestions for right now? Because it seems like you might not.
I don't, so my goal, I think, is just to raise awareness of it as an issue, because I've talked to different people, and, you know, Ellen, the head librarian, she has not a clue what's going on with it. And, you know, I appreciate it, because when I was a school principal and you had to think about everything in the building besides education, it's the same thing for the librarian. She has to think of everything else besides books and running a library. And so when I say, you know, the front of your library doesn't look really good, she goes, ah.
I would have to get that information for you for a future meeting.
Because there's supposedly
assess
the
what the
contract.
plans
I
are.
was to say, the contract should have a
Right,
specific
the
period of time that
contractor
those
should still
plants,
should be.
Right.
So,
especially the trees.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like the little,
The trees should have a longer even.
Yeah, so we're under maintenance period. Like I said, I'll have to check in because I'm not sure if tickets have been submitted to that contractor and they've scheduled it and are maybe just waiting for those to be done. But for the other buildings that are not under
Or the
maintenance
firehouse?
warranty,
firehouse is not being done.
I would have
at all.
to double check as to how much
Good
of that
idea
budget
for
can
that.
actually
People
cover specialized landscaping other than just mowing right over things.
Right, you can't just-
Because I'm not sure if that's the reason that
All the money in the garbage.
that we're doing that now, if it's something where that's a capability we have in terms of just money that we can reasonably allocate to landscaping. So I'll have to follow up on that. And
Yeah, that'd be good.
if it's not, I'm not sure if I'll be able to bring it forward on our next meeting, but
It's complicated.
but it is something that I'll have to follow up on.
But you know, if we're a beautification committee, plants are pretty.
No, for sure. I think I would have to get you more information. Unfortunately, I really can't give you a solid answer. But I did want to let you know about the budget discussion,
Yeah.
just because it's something that we've discussed previously and people have talked about it. It was a little bit more of a contingent item. So
Yeah.
just wanted to give you an FYI on that to keep in mind for our budget workshop next month.
Yeah, and I probably will come, because the other piece for me is, like, I use the bike path, you know, from Creekwood over into, oh God, I hate being old, the other side of the Bailey Boswell along the railroad tracks, and the Johnston grass, is it Jonathan grass? Whatever that grass is that grows like
Haystack.
4 feet in Texas. It covers up the pathway, and you can't bike on it. And when they mow it, they leave it on the path, and it's like ice. And I have scars on my knee from the the way the mowing is done, because my bike slips and I'm on my knees. So there has to be some priority about what we're going to maintain as beautiful and useful, and what are the priorities for that around the town, now that they've made it so beautiful.
All good points. I'll bring you more answers next time. I unfortunately cannot.
I do have an idea about the firehouse. I don't know if some people will like it or not, but I worked with a lot of fire departments up north before I moved down here, and the firemen do the landscaping.
The fireman, what, sorry?
The firemen do the firemen do the lawn mowing, the firemen do the weeding, the firemen do all that stuff up north.
Yeah, it's really
They're
hard.
getting paid to work 24/7, like they're getting paid to sleep, paid to eat, paid to watch TV. Up north, the firemen do the landscaping. I'm just throwing it
okay.
out there. And another thing, if that's not something that they can really swallow, everyone likes firemen. Maybe if we put out a date on Facebook or whatever, social media, hey, in this date, if people want to come, we're all going to work together and weed and pitch up and clean up the area around the fire station. Maybe we can get some public support and free labor. And, yeah, or the same thing with the library as well. You know, everyone likes the library, everyone likes firemen.
I mean,
You know, on
maybe-
this day,
Maybe that goes back to what the very beginning of the meeting, when you were talking about how we should be orienting towards community events.
which would play into that membership you spoke about, we're organizing events to help beautify Saginaw.
I don't know.
Well, we have work day at the garden
Yeah.
coming up for the same purpose.
Yeah.
So, and we just put it out there and say,
Yeah,
we're having a work
You wanna
day,
help?
please come
It's gonna
help.
be on this day and time.
We sign
Bring
volunteer
gloves
hours
and-
for teenagers.
Businesses locally that will help, the Hotel Drover in particular, I know we put something in for there, and they can they help little things up.
Oh, really?
They would do that, I'm not sure with other new businesses that have popped up, they might
Yeah.
want to grant or some sort of, local rally and have their name behind something. I mean, there was, what was it, Jimmy John's KFC, they have applications. for
Yeah,
those things.
that's true.
Ask and see, donate $500, let's make our library look nice and we'll put your,
Yeah,
and actually, the weeding itself is an easy thing because of that sandstone stuff that they put out. Pardon?
Do you work at the library as well, or just?
I teach GED.
Okay.
I'm one of the,
Maybe there's something we can do with like children on the weekend, they have very good hands, they can pull.
they love phone weeds.
no, adults. Anyway, we can talk about it later. It's just something for a future agenda
idea.
item.
Okay.
Shouldn't have to be
Yeah,
you.
with more information, we can definitely have a
Shouldn't have to be you.
more
I like weeding.
Do you?
I love
I
weeding.
always get bit by a
targeted
fire ant
discussion.
and I weed.
right. Well, if we don't have any more future agenda items that we want to discuss, we're ready for meeting adjournment when you guys are. We just need a motion.
I'm sorry, did you have any,
Ma'am?
ma'am, did you have any, before we adjourned, did you?
No, this has been quite interesting to listen to. That's kind of what I was here for, so.
Are you planning to join?
I was considering, but I figured it'd be judicious to,
Did we scare you off?
to look before I leave.
Oh, I guess that's one thing. So like, I'm already getting I didn't realize my term was so short. So I'm already getting
Pamela, you're never
notices.
short.
I just joined like 4 months ago, and now I'm getting notices, your term has expired. Do you want to re-sign up? So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
that's
gotta
just the
send in-
term.
Yeah, I gotta send in I plan on resigning.
so is just submitting it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
They're going to do reappointing again after
they
May. So they do reappointing of the boards. We're down 2 members. Other boards are also down members. It's just kind of an issue throughout. So that's why you should definitely renew so that you continue to be an available option for council members to appoint you.
Renewed too.
Oh,
Okay.
no, they won't want me.
Yes.
Right. Floor's open for a motion to adjourn when you guys are ready.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not allowed to motion when I'm chairing. That too. Oh, no, that's all we need? Awesome.
Yes, ma'am. We're good to go. Thank you. See ya.